if you follow this Benjamin Kareem stuff, he talks about how when he arrives on Earth, he's going to speak to the entire world telepathically via the television set. And I know at that time that every Christian in the world needs to throw their TV sets out, not have them on, not to watch this guy on television, not to listen to him, because he will hypnotize you. And I see this in the codes all the time, where he has this capability of hypnotizing his listeners. And so I imagine once he sets foot on Earth, he can just hypnotize the United States or whoever's over there in Iraq into just giving them the green zone. So I don't necessarily think that we all have to be destroyed over there. But either way, he's going to destroy America and Israel. He's coming after us. And why? Because he's going to put a war on the saints. He's coming after the saints of God. One of the first things he does is establish a takeover of Islam on Earth. And so, all of you that have had similar visions of mine where you just see Islam taking over and all the violence associated with it, and you think about the United States alone right now, all the sleeper cells that we have here. I know the whole area outside of Detroit and in Michigan, just a huge Muslim, huge centers over there. Also in Oklahoma, various places around the United States, they've been bringing in Arabs over the last several years, many years. And so a lot of sleeper cells here in America that could rise up and start destruction here in America, just civil chaos, when this Maitreya arrives. Yeah, it's selling the codes where they're completely angry that I exposed this information. And shocked that I figured it out. I didn't figure it out, the Lord led me to it. For his name, under the code that I was working on, the rapture of the 144,000. The code was found in Psalms 14:1, and it says in Psalms 14:1, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." And I put this on my website at hiddencodes.com. I'm going to take a break here for a minute because I'm going to throw some foil on my window or something. Be right back, folks. Alright, we'll try that and see how it works. It feels like it's 100 degrees in here. And the air is on, just getting very, very hot. But I'm not going to let them defeat me. I'm just going to keep going with the show, folks. As I said, I found this code on Maitreya, working on a code for the rapture of the 144,000. And the code itself was found in Psalms 14:1. That says, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." There were over 65 clusters of Maitreya, being the Black Famine Horseman, in this one code. And the screenshot I have that I put on my website, hiddencodes.com, will show you one of the clusters that I put together for a screenshot. It'll show you Maitreya, the Black Horseman, and famine. And this was just so dominant in the code, and I didn't put any of that all on it because I wanted you to get a clean shot of it. There's also other links on this Maitreya. Some of the other codes that I had found about him, for some reason I lost it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they're sitting there laughing. I know how they are. My code, my website. And it talks about Maitreya being a terrestrial. I don't find it. I'm right here on my website. Alright. One of the reasons you always see Hatchet Man associated with his name, and I haven't heard anybody else really talk about it, but I've been referring to him Hatchet Man for about 5 or 6 years now, is because the biblical name for Cain also means blade and spear. And the reason it's always associated with Maitreya, folks, is because he is, his body, he's not really human. He's an alien being, a tall gray, in a manufactured human body. And his human body, the one that you see, and I have this picture on my website with this Maitreya, is actually a double, a clone of Cain. What they did was they found Cain's body somehow. And this Maitreya has a cloned body of Cain. and he inhabits it with his alien spirit, what his real body is, and he just puts on this human body. But the look of who and what he is Cain. And so I thought that was one of the most shocking things. And I've been talking about that the last couple of months on this show, how I believe this Maitreya is Cain, is associated with this Cain. And that's exactly how. He has his body. He is a clone of Cain. The body is. And on the website, some of the terms I had found in his code that I had posted years ago: terrestrial fallen angel, because that's what he is. Phony fake messiah, prophet, pastor, clergyman. He's a phony and fake. Second, or another beast. He's actually just another beast. I believe he's the first beast of Revelation. Terrestrial auto fleet. Auto being he travels by UFOs. I don't know if he's going to have a grand entrance to Earth in UFOs with the angelic hosts like Jesus is going to. I don't think he will. He might. I know Jesus is a year later, because this Maitreya is going to ride for about a year before the last horseman comes. The pale horse, this Jesus, that all the churches are going to recognize as Jesus. It's not his real name. The Son of God's name was Yahushua. But it was quite a good deception of Satan's to have the whole church worshiping a man called Jesus, thinking that he's the Son of God, and giving him this fake name Jesus. I mean, how do you get Jesus out of Yahushua? And what's funny is Yeshua, another Talmudic name for Jesus, means a horse. And he actually is a horseman. He's the pale horse. So when he comes, we're going to have a literal, just Satan, demonic invasion on earth. This pale horse with death and hell following after him is a total hell invasion on earth. And he will come in his UFOs and his angelic hosts. And these angels, these fallen angel beings, they have some kind of device on them to where they can depict the hologram as being an angelic being. It's some kind of a light thing. It makes them glow. And so they can deceive people into thinking there's some glowing angels. But really all they are is a bunch of ugly aliens with holographs, fooling people into thinking they're angels. Another thing about this chemical that he hypnotizes people with, I found some terms in the code: poisonous, perfumed, toxic, pestilent, lethal. And of course the last one that I posted that I thought was really funny was code, hated, hatred, archenemy, enmity, Sherry Shriner. And of course enmity means mutual hatred. We both hate each other. And so one of the dominant factors of this Maitreya when he comes is this hatchet man. He likes to hack people to death with a blade, with a hatchet. He's very hot-tempered. And not only that is he's dangerous, he can put people around him in a hypnotic trance, and they can't get away from him. And that makes it easy for him to kill people that way, because he kind of puts them in a stupor, and then he can kill them. A couple questions from people. If you have a question for the show, you can send me an email at SherryTalkRadio@yahoo.com. I know they love to get me distracted and off course with all their stupid attacks. Posted something this week on laser guns, and I ordered 2 packs of those Mylar blankets. Because if you're getting attacked by their ray guns, their satellite guns, and their microwave beam weapons, if you have these Mylar blankets around you or on the windows, it will deflect these beams back to them and fry them. And so, someone asked me if the orgone would stop it, and the orgone does not stop ray guns. It will stop ELF weapons, the extreme low frequency. But these ray guns are something else. I've just been beaten up to death by them. And unfortunately, it takes that for you to figure out to ask the Lord how to stop an attack. You know, I didn't know how to stop ELF attacks until I was getting beaten up by him. And I said, Lord, show me how